Hello, welcome to Fitness and Sports with Praveen. Today we have Shainika De Silva Fernando on the show. Shainika is an accomplished golfer in Sri Lanka. She has represented Sri Lanka from the age of 17 at international golf tournaments, and she has won many Sri Lankan ladies golf championships. Shainika is also a tourism professional with both international and local experience, and she is a devoted wife and mother to two lovely girls. So a big welcome to Shainika, and here is what she has to say on golf and fitness. How did you take to the sport of golf, and how has golf enriched your life?
I started playing golf quite by accident. I was an avid tennis player from the age of 7 and was very involved in sports during the sports meet at school and any other opportunity when playing with my friends, etc. My dad was very influential in my life. He was very active, played a lot of squash, tennis, swam almost every day. But unfortunately, he had an accident when I was 13, and at which point he had to give up fast-paced sports and take a break. At this point, he started playing golf, and he immediately dragged me towards the sport as well. It's not something that he had ever played, I had ever been exposed to. It was pretty brand new. Obviously, I had something in my body which was pretty natural, innate. I immediately picked up on the sport, and within a short period of time, I became pretty good, if I may say so. I was very lucky because there were some excellent coaches at the club who saw me and picked me up and helped me grow. I continued to play tennis for school, which is St. Bridget's Convent, until I was 16, because I really wanted to keep the team sport going on as well. I'm not really sure how I improved in golf, but the more I played, the better I became. The sport itself is probably one of the hardest sports I have learned to play. It's very demanding physically, mentally. People think that it's not physically tiring, but it's very tiring on your body. It has a big impact. Golf has really helped me to balance schoolwork, to do a sport and balance school. It teaches discipline, commitment, hard work, dedication, all these great things which I think the young generation really needs. I highly recommend young people to do a sport or an extracurricular activity in performing arts or whatever while doing their studies, so they become more all-rounded. I also had the opportunity, thanks to golf, to travel extensively to more than 10 countries over a period of 15 years, which made me see and appreciate the culture, meet other young kids from different countries and learn about them.
You have won numerous golf championships in Sri Lanka and have represented Sri Lanka in golf from the age of 17. What made you so successful in this sport?
Very simply, hard work, dedication, focus, and of course my parents who have been very, very supportive. I have a group of friends who are also very supportive and been with me, especially when I was juggling doing my O-levels and A-levels while playing international tournaments. I never really stopped my education or my sport in order to continue. I balance them both. I have to actually by name mention the 3 coaches who were very inspirational and helped me: Willie Basenbeck, Thiru Fernando and Faisal Qureshi. Thiru is the only Sri Lankan female professional who played the WPGA, so she really needs to be mentioned. They coached me for free. No one has charged me anything, and they believed in me and really helped me grow, because as I mentioned earlier, I don't come from a family with golfers. That's how most young people start. Either their father, their mother, uncle or aunt play, but in my case, my dad and I started pretty much the same time. I got better, he did not. That's how it happened.
Given your vast experience in golf, what are your thoughts on developing this sport so Sri Lanka can produce some outstanding golfers in the future?
Unfortunately, golf has been defined as an elite sport in Sri Lanka. I don't entirely agree. I agree it's expensive, but so are lots of other sports now. However, in the last 10 to 15 years, I have felt the Sri Lanka Golf Union taking a strong leadership in bringing more access to the sport, within the country. Lots of regional programs are happening. We have funds that have come through the NOC to the Golf Union, which has been invested in players all over the country through the clubs in Kandy, in Nuwara Eliya, even in Trinco. So young people, rich, poor, anybody who's interested in the sport now have access. The military is now involved, which has also given further access. I know lots of people in the forces now play. Their children have exposure to the sport, so I think it's really good. So the former opinion that golf is only for rich people from Colombo 7 has completely changed. The entire men's team, almost the entire men's team, are former caddies, which is exceptional. So which means if you're talented, you get picked up and you're helped, you're invested in. I also think it's very important to bring in some overseas or foreign resources to improve the game, coaches, fitness specialists, who can also help raise the sport up more and bring in the expertise that the other countries have. I also think golf is going to help Sri Lanka improve as a tourist destination, because we can join up together with the natural resources. Golf can be introduced to bring in tourists who come for golf, who then stay on and enjoy wildlife, beaches, history, all that. In a very, very small country, we have a lot. So I think we can make the best of that situation as well.
Shainika, you mentioned that you are having a back injury that was caused due to your competitive golf career. Would you tell us how you are managing it now and not letting it stop you from fitness training? And also tell us from your experience your thoughts on injury prevention, which would help the young golfers today.
I can't really pinpoint when the injury happened. It may have been midway through my career or at the latter part. I'm really not sure. I was having a lot of chronic back pain since 2016, but I'm not a big fan of doctors, so I just rested, did the usual ice and heat therapy, and eventually in 2019 I went and saw a couple of orthopedic doctors who also then diagnosed and directed me to a physiotherapist. I have been going for physio for the last 8 to 10 months. It's been on and off with COVID, but along with the physiotherapist who has introduced some exercises to me, and a very, very basic workout plan is what I do now. I walk for cardio. I have some exercises to strengthen my back and also my core, which is recommended by the physiotherapist. And I just started, just this week actually, started playing a little badminton with some work colleagues, just for a bit of variety. I'm not much for boring sports or just boring walking, so I wanted to add in a little bit of competition here and there. So I play badminton. I'm hoping to start tennis again recreationally as well, if time permits. These are sports that I can play in a doubles format, so not as aggressive or as stressful as other sports would be. I'm also thinking about joining a fitness group once or twice a week, and I've spoken to the trainer who said that they could kind of work around the injury and give me some less aggressive exercises to do. So that's my long-term plan. I was out of exercise for at least 8 months because everything I did caused a lot of pain. So, but now things are better, things are picking up. So I'm hoping to try some new things. I really do think, however, that most of my injury, or at least some part of it, was because of the fact that we never really did any warming up or any stretching, cooling down. I barely did any fitness, no strength training. That didn't exist when I was playing golf. And I know probably from about 10 years ago, I'm not really sure entirely when, Tiger Woods brought in the importance of fitness, strength training, endurance for golf, and I really, really recommend golf or any sport. It's very important to have physical training to go hand in hand with the training for the sport, because you need to make sure your muscles are strong and that this will help you have less injuries. So please, if you're interested in pursuing in a sport, add strength training, endurance training into your program. That's very important, and of course healthy eating also.
What are your plans for the future, whether it be in fitness, sport, and life?
Okay, so I pretty much have accepted the fact that I won't be playing competitive golf anymore, and that's perfectly fine. I love fitness, I love any type of exercise, so I'm just going to continue with light cardio, my rehab exercises, whatever bodyweight exercises that I can do, play some tennis, play some badminton, but I am definitely going to do it for a long time, as long as I can. I strongly believe that 5 to 6 days a week of physical activity is important for anybody. For the mind, the body, basically to do the best in life, you need to add physical activity. So I'm going to stick to that schedule.
Wow. Thank you very much, Shainika, for being on the show. Keep persevering and winning at life, and we hope to have you back on the show. Thank you for tuning into Fitness and Sports with Praveen. I look forward to seeing you on the next show. Stay safe, take care, and God bless.